Well, in 1974, the Equal Credit Opportunity Act gave women the right to take out a line of credit for the first time on their own. Well, now an amazing organization is helping women to take ownership of their lives. And today I want to welcome broker and owner of Live.Laugh.Denver, Lindsay Benton. Lindsay, it's so good to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, congratulations, because first of all, you're celebrating 50 years of ownership for women through the Shared Power Initiative. What is that?
So 50 years of home ownership went into effect with the Equal Credit Opportunity Act when we could no longer be discriminated against based on sex, amongst other things, including race, ethnicity, sexual orientation, et cetera, right? And so we've had 50 years as women to be able to get our own loans without needing a man, oftentimes a father or a brother, to co-sign that, or a husband, of course. And so that started us to be able to really find our financial freedom. Fast forward to 2020, the Project ICU nonprofit was doing work in our community, and 2020 we're all in our homes and we realized how important our homes are. Exactly. And so they added the Shared Power Initiative at that time to allow and empower women to take the power back and get into home ownership.
What a great program.
Yeah.
Love the concept. Absolutely. Now, you are fundraising for the Shared Power Initiative through captains, and the opportunity for those in the community to get involved is there. Tell me all about this and about the fundraising process.
Right. So I work in real estate, and I think that, you know, as soon as I got into real estate, I knew, and that was 12 years ago, I knew we had a role as realtors to not just serve our clients as they buy and sell homes, but also take ownership of the fact and the role that real estate played in the wealth gap that was created, right? And so when we look back at history, we can say there were a significant amount of discriminatory and predatory lending practices, as well as real estate practices, that kept non-white males out of homes. And so I feel, as a real estate agent, it's our job to be part of the solution and part of minimizing that wealth gap. And so we started a captain's program. So realtors can go into their community, do the fundraising, and basically sponsor up to a $10,000 grant to get women into homeownership. And so that's where we get the general population involved. The realtors are the captains, and then we get people involved. And you don't have to be a real estate agent to be a captain, so you can get involved that way too.
You can just get involved. And I love that you've done so much research. You've looked into so much history to say, this is where we're going to make a change, and you've done that. How have you been personally impacted by the Shared Power Initiative, and what is setting it apart here?
That's a great question. I think the biggest differentiator for the grant program is there's a lot of grant programs out there, and oftentimes we're helping our recipients not just leverage the grant they're getting from the Shared Power Initiative, but also from other grants that are offered across the state of Colorado, or federally speaking. But in addition to getting access to that money, we're really working with the women before, during, and after the transaction. Home ownership is not a set it and forget it type of thing.
Right.
Nor is it a quick solution a lot of times, right? So we may be working with women for a year or more, getting them ready to be qualified to buy. Then they go through the process of buying, and then we're helping them maintain that asset. Because what we find is that when women take their power back, it doesn't just affect their lives, it affects generations to come.
Right.
And so we want to make sure they're able to preserve and maintain that asset so that they can pass it down to other generations as well.
I think that is so incredible. Now, this year you are promoting 50 years of ownership. What does that mean to you?
I think as a woman, I bought my first place when I was 22, and at the time we'd only had that access for 30 years, but I had never known any different. So I really didn't even realize how historically significant that is. But a woman has to be able to make her own decisions about her finances in order to have real freedom.
Right.
And so that's what it is for me. The biggest thing that with Shared Power is watching these grant recipients go on to then be the fundraisers as well. We have one of our homeowners here in the audience, Reba, and she has been so incredible to not only, prosper in her own story, but now she's on the board and she's helping other women find that same financial freedom and financial stability through homeownership, and that's incredible.
She jumped onto the cause. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Absolutely.
Wonderful work, and for more information, they've got a big event coming up, and to get your tickets to that, head to projecticu.org and go to Show Up With Us. All right, we've got more Coco after the break.